so it begins. Democrats now calling for more cultural dominance.
What investment in Hasan Piker? People are the reason. People like Piker are the reason they lost. So yes, they should work with him. It doesn't matter how well funded propaganda is. Everyone knows propaganda. Fund the rich kid. They don't need it, do they?
And praising Hasan Piker, saying we must support individuals like this. Now, Fox News ain't pulling any punches. They say top Harris aide hypes radical activist who said America deserved 9/11 while plotting future for Dems. House Democrat called Hasan Piker a poster child for the post-October 7th outbreak of anti-Semitism in America earlier this year. Me, oh my. Well, basically what we're seeing right now is Democrats recognizing that they've lost cultural control. The corporate press is no longer what...
I like that this is not something I've said. And it literally goes against what I also personally say all the time, that like funding me is not going to solve the Democratic Party's problems. And it's crazy that these guys make it seem as though like I'm the one who invited this, you know? They're not wrong. Yes, I am a dominant force in political commentary for progressive politics. That's correct. If there were more people like me, I think America would be objectively in a better space, especially in terms of political discourse. I believe that, okay? But it still would not change the dynamic between what I advocate for and what the Democrats want to do. That's the real problem. And for some weird reason, people don't understand that. They just don't hear that. I can yell about things all day, every day till the cows come home. But if the Democrats don't want to fight, and if the Democrats don't want to hear that, then nothing is going to happen. It's not going to change.
It used to be. And as I've been warning, especially in the previous video, the big players, Disney, Comcast, you name it, they are going to dump money in this space, and they will make sure that these voices rise to the top. Now,
no, they're not, dude. You're an idiot. Also, you're paid by Russia. Like, are they investing in you? No, dude. Dude, this is such a dumb question. No, of course they're not investing in me. What are you talking about, dude? What are we doing? Are we okay? You're just going off the whims of Tim Pool? No, dude. I wasn't invited to the Hunter Biden crack party at the White House. I wasn't even invited to the Hunter Biden crack party. I got kicked out of the DNC. Motherfuckers forgot about all this shit, seems. I'm paid by you. You're the one who pays my salary. Your subscriptions is how I get funded, okay? And maintain editorial control. It gives me the freedom to say whatever the I want. It makes it much easier for me to say no to whether it be Poly Market trying to give me $1 million just for the election day coverage as a starting salary, or not even a salary, as a starting point in the negotiations. What these last, oh yeah. Does it weird you out when you see Fox just making shit up about you, or are you used to it by now? It doesn't really matter. Anyone that looks at a Fox News article like this and goes, oh my God, I am so upset. I feel like these guys are genuine actors here and not, you know, ideological terrorists, is a baboon. Decoy, thank you for the 5 gifted. And They Tuesday, thank you for the 5 gifted. They Tuesday, the PSL chatter. I don't think that there's anything here. Like, there's no motion in this. But
I don't believe Hasan Piker is in the path of that trampling that is underway because he's too, I don't know, anti-Israel, I guess. Now, I think if you are going to play up, like look at Twitch and the adpocalypse where he is. Many people are blaming him for this. Advertisers don't want to touch things where they're going to get accused.
Isn't that funny that Destiny, Ethan Klein, and Tim Pool are like this? Doesn't that actually strike anyone as odd? Whether you are from Destiny's community and you're like, oh, why is Tim Pool saying this? Let me reconsider how invested I was in this false narrative. Or if you're an Ethan's fan base, doesn't that shock you a little bit or cause concern in your mind a little bit when you got Keemstar aligned with like that Nicholas DiOrio guy that looks like a Oreo, shaped like an Oreo rather, Destiny, Tim Pool, Fox News? Doesn't that cause you to maybe rethink? Sure, throw some fat shaming in there. Yes. All right, it's time. It's time. Clap for the chatter. You, my friend, are woke of the day. I'm talking about like a straight up online neo-Nazi, and you went fat shaming that person? Excuse me. That's a bridge too far. I need to make like a woke of the day song. And what are your final words? For woke of the day, your reward is a week-long suspension. But before I deliver it to you, what are your final words? Humor has no place here. Okay, I've reduced it to 1 day. I don't think you were trying to joke. I think you were being serious, but God, I'm such a I can't do it. I couldn't do it.
Accused of any isms. Let's roll, baby. The left is going to say they're defending Israel. The right, well, a lot of people on the right are going to say they're defending Israel too.
Isn't Tim Pool also defending Israel? Like, I'm confused. I thought Timothy was, I mean, anytime I've heard Tim Pool talk about Israel, like, this is coming from a guy who says Ukraine is the greatest enemy of mankind, you know, like that type of shit. It's like shocking to me that when it comes to Israel, he doesn't have such a, he has no interest in demonstrating a clear-cut position. He has almost always sidestepped that conversation. I think he meant you joking about that didn't have a place there. No, I'm just talking specifically about Tim Pool's own personal opinions on Israel. He rarely ever has like a well-formed perspective on that. It's just he's just waiting to be paid. I don't know. It's weird. He's not a centrist on anything else except for Israel. I wonder why. I don't know.
Let me put it this way. Corporations don't care if it's Israel or black people or gay people or otherwise. Corporations don't want shock and defense regardless of where it comes from. Now, the people who are very Israel-centric, be it for or against, are going to claim that they're the perceived victim, whatever it may be. The reason why I think Hasan Piker is not going to get chosen in this regard is because corporations are going to say he evokes too much negative attention as it pertains to offense. Now, if you're a channel that's critical of some things, maybe gay marriage, something like that, you'll probably still get some advertisers, but it's a sliding scale. You can be critical of Israel and there's no problem. Some people certainly exaggerate and say that, no, you can't, they'll come for you. It depends on what you're saying in your criticism. Like, you know, the things Hasan Piker has said about October 7th and his stances, they go.
Oh, really? Oh, really? You have issues with the things I've said. This is the only purpose that Fox News article serves. It's for people who are pro-Israel to basically go, oh, I'm critical of Israel, but this guy takes it too far, you know? And it's like, why am I taking it too far? Because I say that Israel is objectively doing a genocide? That's too far. And it's always just like people that try to pick apart random quotes that they clip over, 8 hours of commentary. And it's always suspicious, like 15 seconds, completely devoid of the context. Like, am I pro-Israel? Am I anti-Israel? Who knows? No, nobody knows. We just know that he's pro-bad things. Look, what level of hating is how you don't like Democrats, then get mad that they like you? I mean, he's just doing what a lot of other content creators do when the end of the month is nearing and they want to pull on the monetization button. When rent is due, do a Hasan video and maybe you'll be able to get some views off of that. Now, the problem for Tim is his view counts are dog. So I don't even think I give him, well, two problems. One, his view counts are dog overall, so it's not really pumping that. It's not really pumping those numbers for him. And the second problem is, and I think this is a more interesting issue across the board, and I've noticed this, Hasan videos don't have that same hit. It doesn't have that same oomph. It really doesn't. The market is flooded with the Hasan is bad and he's evil and you should hate him and you should want to kill him style videos that there honestly isn't. There's really nothing there to hit on. Yeah, it's a saturated market filled to the brim with recycled content and commentary. And I think that people have already made up their minds, right? Like, you're tapping into the same vein. There's a finite amount of people who hate me, and they only have so much time throughout their day to watch the same exact on video. I think post October 7, a lot more people on the fence got suckered into those kinds of videos. Yeah, but they've slowly come back. If you notice, like, I lost a third. I lost a third of my audience after October 7, straight up. Okay? And I think at that point, a lot of people were just like, they were shocked at the horror of October 7, and they could not comprehend how I wouldn't immediately and unconditionally say, this is only the barbaric Arabic rapist monsters that are doing this, and no other party is responsible. But I think a year of genocide has caused people to maybe develop a better understanding of the power dynamic at play. So I think that that's what happened. Because as we always say, being a leftist is right, but being a leftist is about being right just simply too early. You went from 50K to 30K or got back since then? No. I went from 30K to 20K, like sub 20K, and now we're back up to 30K and even higher, usually.
Go a little far. And I'm not saying
you
it's
also
extreme.
say wrong things about the Amsterdam happening. This is the mindset, I think. This is the most knowledgeable HasanAbi questioner. Like, doesn't even know what he's talking about, has heard someone else. This is basically someone summarizing a drama slop video that they heard, that they weren't really paying attention to, that they tweeted out, and then a third party read that tweet to this person. Okay? It has been reduced to, didn't you say also wrong things about the Amsterdam happening? I want to investigate a little bit further without you Googling and finding why you feel this way, if you could. What do you think happened in Amsterdam? Do you know what my commentary was on it? Because that's yet another story of me being right, but too early, I guess, because there was no pogrom that took place in Amsterdam. No, that's why I ask. There was, okay, well, Western media immediately jumped on the opportunity to tie Israel back to Judaism falsely, and also to present Israel as a victim in the sea of all of the negative coverage that Israel is getting because they're doing a genocide. So many of the Western outlets basically took footage that was happening on the ground of like Israeli Maccabi Tel Aviv football hooligans instigating a race riot in the streets of Amsterdam, and made it seem as though scary Arabic Muslim migrants living in Amsterdam were actually on a hunt for Jews, a Kristallnacht style situation. It turns out that it was a classic European style football hooligan fight that took place, and it literally was not a pogrom. I looked at the situation, I analyzed the facts on the ground. I saw that there were independent journalists that were literally saying, these outlets are using my footage to make it seem like the perpetrators of these acts are Arabs and the victims are Israeli football fans, when it's quite literally the opposite. It's Israeli football fans that were seeking out Arabs to beat the out of them. And I correctly covered it. And people have yelled at me. In Germany, media reports recently it was a planned action from the Arabs. Yeah, of course, German media says that. They're the most rabid Zionist freaks. The mayor of Amsterdam also apologized after the fact for falling falling victim to the propaganda. Yeah. Germans are pro-fascist unconditionally. They're universal pro-fascist supporters. So I think that they see what Israel is doing and they're like, yeah, very nice. We love this. I love the rules. I love the rules and also the genocide. Fascistische genocide. I like it. Very much. Yeah, the CR vote, Bill, the CR vote has failed, predictably. Anyway, let's continue with Tim Pool.
Saying they go far in one direction. And for a lot of people, as it pertains to Israel, they make it their whole identity. Advertisers don't want to be associated with something that's going to cost them money. So if you are talking about race issues and you're hyper-focused on crime rates of the black community, you can talk...
Wait a minute. Fact check from Deutsche Welle. Amsterdam video doesn't show attack on the Israelis. Violence broke out following the Europa League match between Ajax Amsterdam and the Maccabi Tel Aviv. A video showing the riots was misinterpreted by many media outlets. Deutsche Welle takes a closer look, yeah. And it turns out that the Wall Street Journal claimed Israeli soccer fans were chased and beaten in Amsterdam in what Israeli and Dutch politicians called the anti-Semitic attacks. It turns out that that was false, yeah. So maybe you should stop reading Der Spiegel and see Deutsche Welle if you're looking for the German media's interpretation of such things. It's like coming to me and being like, excuse me, InfoWars said it was a pogrom. And that is a reputable institution, sir. People were yelling at you about your coverage over Amsterdam. And Fox News says you're a terrorism lover. Yeah, I guess I am. I don't know. Okay.
Talk about it, nobody cares. But if it's all you talk about, advertisers are going to say no. Democrats probably won't go this direction. That's probably why Fox News is criticizing them. But they are going to go for many of these other liberal creators who I'm not going to mention because I don't want to give them any airtime on that regard. Fox News says Harris's former deputy campaign manager, Rob Flaherty, said during a recent interview that Democrats are losing hold of culture and laid out a strategy for them to develop a whole thriving system ahead of future elections. We need a whole thriving ecosystem. It's not just Pod Save America, though I think we should have more of them. It's not just Hasan Piker. We should have more Hasan Pikers. It's also the cultural creators, the folks who are one rung out, who influence the nonpartisan audience. Those things all need to happen together. The reality is, it's not going to be big media organizations. It's going to be a network and constellation of individual personalities, because that's how people get their information now, he added. Flaherty, who previously served as the director of digital strategy for the Biden White House, is likely to face backlash for calling for more Hasan Pikers due to Piker's past controversial comments. He had previously raised more than $1 million for Palestinian aid, used his platforms with millions of followers to...
See, our vote did pass. Yeah, in September 26th. Look at the title that you sent me, the article. Look at the title article. It says Congress enacts a continuing resolution to avert government shutdown through December 20th, 2024. Now, look at your phone. What does it say? What is the date? It's December 19th, which means there is one more day for this continuing resolution. The actual thing that happened was that the Trump-backed continuing resolution bill failed the House with 174, 235, and 1. A stunning 38 Republicans ignored Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson and voted no. The bill was considered under a fast-track method that required two-thirds for passage. Not only did it not get two-thirds, it didn't even clear 218, a simple majority. An inauspicious start to Trump's reemergence into the legislating world. We've got a long way to go.
Downplay and justify attacks such as October 7th and 9/11 as acts of resistance in recent years. Yeah, he said something nasty about 9/11. He said nasty stuff about Dan Crenshaw's eye.
I did.
A little crass.
Little
During a 2019 live stream.
Little crass. He should only stick to saying nasty things about Ukraine. He should stick to saying nasty things about undocumented people and trans people. Why is he being so crass about Daniel Crenshaw?
Piker praised the brave effing soldier who wounded Dan Crenshaw while he was deployed in Afghanistan as a Navy SEAL, asking, didn't he go to war and literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave effing soldier, effed his eye hole with their D? Yikes, man. Is that what Democrats are going for? Holy.
Yeah, I did say that. That was funny. Now, of course, I know that's not what happened. It was an ID. But my point was, Dan Crenshaw should know better than anybody else that you shouldn't be sending other American men and women overseas, considering that he had the ultimate penalty, losing his eye in the process. Now he uses that wound, send other people overseas. I think that is up.
Smokes. Look, this is what they're going for. They're praising the murder of that CEO. This is what they're going for. He went on to say that America deserved 9/11, saying, before before later walking it back, saying it was inappropriate. However, in another stream this year, he joked about 9/11 again, saying, oh my God, 9/11-2 is going to be so sick, and give Saudi Arabia a nuke so they can do 9/11-2. Wow, that's...
This is not... Dude, Fox News is so funny. They literally wrote this as though it's like I'm in favor of it, and I'm not actually against arming Saudi Arabia with nukes. Also, hasn't Tim Pool advocated, maybe he doesn't understand because he literally thinks that because he thinks average citizens should have nukes. He thinks that I'm in favor of giving Saudi Arabia nukes. I'm not.
Jeez, dude. In another stream, Piker broadcast propaganda from the
my pearls, I'm clutching them.
Houthis, an Iranian-backed group in Yemen. So we get it. Okay, guys, I'm not here to rag on Hasan Piker. I know people don't like him. They're going to mention that Hasan said Hamas was the lesser evil next to Israel.
Oh, I love that when he says that, because I do stand by that. Like, that's not even a misattribution. That's not out of context. It is true. It's objectively true. It does not matter. You can cry all day, every day in terms of targeting enemy combatants, armed enemy combatants versus civilians. Yes, Hamas is the lesser evil between the two. You might have a disagreement with that, but you can't disagree with facts. That's just pure, factually correct information. So I love when people point to that. I hate when people will clip me out of context to be like, Hasan doesn't believe rapes happened at all, or whatever, right? Like that I hate. I hate when people will clip me out of context on, like, Hasan wants rich women to get or whatever. And it's like, all of that stuff is very frustrating for me. Okay. That's not, I've literally never, ever in a million years advocated for any of those things. Okay. You're a asshole for acting like that's the case. But if you come at me and you say, like, Hasan, you said Hamas is the lesser evil between Israel, I will always and forever repeat that factually accurate assessment. You can't just like simply rely on other people's assertions in the matter to make a convincing case. You have to dive into the data. And in that situation, you can't, like, there's no arguing against the data, you know? Red flag. What is this?
His Twitch streams regularly hit more than 1 million views and often have as many as 30,000.
Yeah, didn't you make a video about how it was falling off? Dude, what happened? Fox is praising my
viewers at a time.
Glaze!
You know, we here at Simcast are rather proud of flying under the radar over and over again. For some reason.
Yeah, saying true statements with a shocked, smug tone is not an argument. Exactly. Thank you. Like, or simply saying, what a ridiculous argument, and then moving on. Okay, why is it ridiculous? People always love doing that, where they'll just like repeat the statement, but in a sarcastic tone and just move on. Okay, explain why. Tell me why you think Israel is the lesser evil, if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Reason, we rarely ever get mentioned. I think I'm good at hiding in this cave and not doing external press. Though I do think, you know, our media strategy is largely that it has to change. I want to talk to you about where we're currently at.
Oh my God, he kind of is he a little jelly bean? Is he a little jelly bean that I'm getting some press coverage? Dang.
And why this story is big. This is the war, my friends.
Tim, you got a lot of news coverage recently, like a couple months ago. You know, there was a federal indictment. You were a conspirator who very quickly made it seem like he was simply a victim, played a fool by the big, scary Russian government using a Canadian subsidiary, Tenet Media.
The media is coming. They're praising Hasan Piker. It's exactly what I predicted. We are going to see more of this moving forward. I got a response on the comment section from Candace Owens about what I said. And I think there's a lot to bring up in this. So I definitely want to get into more of Candace's argument and the point she's making, because I'm not saying she's wrong at all.
HasanAbi, Israelis and Palestinians are both ethno-nationalists, right? Isn't it better for us if they're just busy fighting rather than trying to rope their diaspora to what effectively is a totalitarian identity? That is an insane way to approach the situation. It's like saying, well, the IRA and the British Empire are both ethno-nationalists. Let's not get ourselves involved in this. Excuse me, don't you think that the ANC's militant factions are actually engaging in anti-white efforts, just like the apartheid government is implementing anti-black initiatives? I mean, these are two sides of the same coin. It's like, yeah, dude, they're not, okay? They're not. It's ridiculous. Israel is the responsible party here. Israel is the militant state with nuclear arms. Israel is being backed by the wealthiest and most powerful state on the planet, the United States of America, that offers it both social and political cover, and also an unlimited amount of weapons. Any sort of emancipatory effort against that is infinitely more just than the efforts of dominating this population, this indigenous population. It's ridiculous to look at it and go, they're both ethno-nationalists. Just like the FLN was not simply ethno-nationalist, or the IRA wasn't simply ethno-nationalist, or the ANC simply wasn't invested in the affairs of black people. They had a righteous cause in that circumstance. Against terrorism, oppression is real against terrorism? Yes. Yeah. Jewish liberation groups at the Warsaw Ghetto seemingly have some ethno-nationalist interests in emancipation. I don't know. Shouldn't we just let them fight? Would be a ridiculous argument, right? I think you understand that. Yeah, the Viet Cong are ethno-nationalists.
Well, I largely agree with her and the issues at play and where we go media-wise. With the Democrats calling for more Hasan Pikers, I'm going to reiterate, Brett Cooper launching her own channel is a good thing. Certainly you...
Good one. HasanAbi, the media is praising you while he's reading an article that's on you. Yeah, so... the thing is, the reason why Fox News is shitting on me is because the media, or not even the media, but like a high up person in the Kamala Harris campaign was praising me in a Semaphore article. So they're like using me as a way to attack the Kamala Harris like digital media person. I'm not the real target here. I'm not the real villain here. The real villain is the Kamala Harris campaign, is what they try to present it as. But I'm simply being used as a tool in this counter messaging campaign. It doesn't really matter. There is no real motion here at all. It's not, it's very stupid. No, the Democrats are not widely calling for more HasanAbis, but Kamala Harris's deputy campaign manager did. He very openly, very clearly did say that.
You wanted her to retain the...
I'll be honest though, any day that I piss off Fox News is a good day to me. Any day that I piss off Tim Pool is a good day to me. It just is, or used to be, more heartbreaking when I would see people who also brand themselves as liberals, not like Tim Pool, but like actually actively defend the Democratic Party. When those guys are also doing this, then it's like, ugh. Because their audiences do have some like-minded progressive individuals every now and then before they see the truth, before they see the light. They finna make you an industry plant, Unc? Yeah. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Your detractor is calling people's love of Luigi the Hasan effect only liked because hot. I do love, personally, when my haters, my biggest haters, will actively say, oh, you're just only liked because you're hot. It's like, thanks for saying I'm hot. I mean, that's nice. I'll take it.
Massive marketing efforts at the Daily Wire. She's not going to, but I think she'll be all right. Brett Reagan, replacing Brett, is going to get the massive infrastructure of the Daily Wire. Is that what people are mad? Like, honest question for those in the comments. Is the issue that the Daily Wire spends a ton of money promoting and building up this channel and you want Brett to have that capability? I think she's going to find a way. Having another Reagan is really good. It's really annoying how people just want Daily Wire to be evil. I really just don't like the people who make their whole...
Oh, hey, yo! Austin Show in the building, dude. He just walked the in, dude. Tim Pool is reading an article about me, and he's mad.
What?
Fox News wrote an article about how like the Kamala Harris like campaign deputy manager was like, we need more Hasan Pikers, and then Fox News was like, Kamala Harris is, you know, higher up in Kamala Harris's campaign is talking about how you need more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but Fox News got real mad and they were like, he's a terrorist. He wants 9/11 too.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't give a shit. They say that. Who
He
gives
doesn't want that. He's a 9/11 enthusiast.
What?
I'm joking.
Oh no.
He's not. All right.
Okay.
Well, I need to do a little
What?
secret shopping.
What? You need to do a secret shop. Wait, what? Is there? Do I have to check my text messages?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. Later in the
Not
day.
gotten anything for later in the day, dude. It's 4:15.
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, I got like 3 more hours.
3 more hours. We don't have
Yes.
time for that,
Yes,
dude.
we do. All right. I gotta keep going.
Check your phone.
I gotta keep going.
Full
I will
identity
check my
is real.
phone.
Check your phone because they
Guys,
gotta.
you can criticize the Daily
gotta
Wire, you can
check-
criticize Israel. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the people
See,
who
now
are
I
obsessed
can't
with
be in your
nothing
phone. I
but
can be
Israel
right behind
and
you.
criticize
Just
Daily
go.
Wire in that vein. Okay? If you're critical of Daily Wire, you're allowed to be. Not saying that. But we need more people in the space. We need more investment. We need, they're outright saying they want more Hasan Pikers. Well, we want more Brett Coopers. We want more people who are going to be calling out the lies, the cheating, and the stealing. And if we don't focus on what, like Reagan and Brett
They can't hear you.
are of comparable cultural worldview, despite any personal drama or beef that people may perceive. I don't know. I don't care. What we don't want is more Hasan Pikers. Hasan's welcome to come on the show and debate anytime. He's going to stand by his ideas. But if Democrats start reinforcing that space,
We do not want more Hasan Pikers. Stop it. Once again, I hope that if there's any like Ethan Klein or Destiny fans out there that hear Tim Pool say that, or you just understand that you're in alignment with the Tim Pools of the world. You're in alignment with the Keemstars of the world. You're in alignment with a lot of people who I do not think represent your worldview or your best interest. I, on the other hand, regardless of how much people shit on me, I, on the other hand, probably do align with your worldview a lot better than these guys do. So make no mistake. Judge me by my enemies is what I always say. And this is part of the reason why I say that. It's who I have all the smoke for, okay? That matters.
we get crushed. They're going to pull in, Disney's going to have $1 billion in revenue, and they're going to say, let's allocate $500 million towards owning the podcast space. They already largely control a lot of it. And while they come out and say conservatives are well-funded and organized, that's just not true. The majority of these people who are quote-unquote conservative, independent, the biggest names in the space, largely independent. No big networks. Then you look at these other popular podcasts, and they're more likely to have networks and be produced serialized shows coming from the corporate press and legacy media. It's changing. Rumble's doing a great job. Daily Wire's doing a great job. The Blaze, they're there as well. But, everyone's saying, what, you don't think they're doing a great job? The Blaze is doing all right, but they need to do more. You've got these networks. They could do better. So in response to what we're seeing here, as it pertains to NDAs, I want to cover this and highlight this because Candace did respond based on my last post. For those that aren't familiar, I basically said that Brett leaving the Daily Wire is likely a contract dispute. They didn't come to terms, so she went to do her own channel. So long as she gets good advice and she knows what she's doing, she should be totally fine. I do have concerns about the launching of her channel as of yet. Without any content on it, that could be a big risk as it creates dead subs. I want to stress that because I hope people around her are telling her this. But a lot of people are saying that Daily Wire is this bad. Otherwise, they're saying, oh, it's all your friends. Yeah, I consider them to be friends. I think they're doing a great job, and I want to see them succeed. They're building culture. Rumble's doing the same thing. Where's anybody coming out telling me that I'm shilling for Rumble when I praise Rumble over and over again? And this is the funny thing. TimGuest.com is Rumble infrastructure. It's all our back end. So here's what I want to say. As per NDAs, there's something important to know. Candace responded when I said there's more to law than just what is written down. There's the court of public opinion. She said, maybe I misunderstood your intention when you wrote, at any time Brett can say anything she wants. Maybe you meant NDAs can technically be violated. They can literally be violated any time with consequences commensurate with your willingness to engage in such consequences. Candace said, parking that aside and speaking more broadly.
Dim tool. Do you think that the judge me by my enemies rhetoric actually works to persuade people? I think that it's important for people to understand where I stand. And I think talking about your ideological opponents in that regard is a good thing. And it's something that I bring up quite frequently when talking about Destiny, because Destiny spends a whole bit of time shitting on the left. It's actually, ironically, something that I criticize Cenk for as well. I criticize anyone who spends a good bit of time shitting on those to the left of them. I think that there's no reason to spend any time talking down to people that are further to the left than you. And every now and then I do yell about like anarchists or wreckers or whatever but I think it's ridiculous. These people are utterly powerless, okay? Myself included. We have no power. We have no influence in Congress. And I think that it's important because it shows who you really are. It shows what your worldview looks like. If you spend so much time specifically calling out, in air quotes, calling out those on the left, and the severity of your commentary for those that are on the left, the severity and the anger that you demonstrate when talking about those on the left versus like the conciliatory tone you take with someone like Ben Shapiro. This is specifically Destiny. Like he is, it's shocking. Like a random trans person that has pissed them off on Twitter gets endless amounts of smoke, but Ben Shapiro is like, an intellectual giant that is worthy of respect. That's crazy. I think Ben Shapiro is infinitely more influential in terms of American political discourse, infinitely more powerful, and also infinitely worse for American society than some random trans activist online. Okay? Even when a random trans activist online turns around and says, like, I'm transphobic or whatever, in a panicked moment because they misunderstood the point that I was making, I still think, who cares? As content creators started moving right a few years ago, I've noticed them talking a lot of trash about you, and it made me want to check you out. And I noticed you were calling out people in power instead of marginalized people, and I've been listening ever since. Your enemies are a big part of the reason why I tuned in the first place. I think that there are a decent amount of people. I think there are a decent amount of people that actually do get funneled in to my side of the world. He admitted he used kid gloves at Ben Shapiro because he wanted access. Yeah, like that stuff is gross in my opinion. Yeah, I think my haters do end up funneling people my way, pushing people my way, especially because they just have so much hatred that it inevitably, I think, causes people to take interest. And then maybe even if you're like a rabid hater, even if you're like a vicious hater, okay, you come in here and you're like, why the don't people hate him in the same way that I do? And I think when you realize that it basically breaks your worldview, and I hope it gets you out of this weird cult-like place that you were in. Hey, you was mentioned in an interview with a Russian ex-opposition blogger. He called you a grifter, and he started learning economics to confront your Marxist ideas. Now he's an anarcho-capitalist studying in U.S. university and planning to be in U.S. politics. That's pretty funny. I don't even know that this person exists on the planet, and yet I've had such a formative role in his political development. Like pure resentment and pure spite has driven him into the throes of anarcho-capitalism. That's awesome. You know Candace Owens, buddy? Calm down. Oh, you talking to Tim Pool? Yeah, why is he shitting on Candace Owens? Maybe it's because he got that Daily Wire check
Broadly,
now.
I find that the purpose of NDAs should be simply to protect important company information. I make my employees sign one-pagers to protect information about addresses, contacts, information about my kids, etc. I've never put an employee under NDA contract because I was worried about them telling the truth about how I treated them. I think that is the core of the current NDA debate, disclosure versus disparagement. And at the heart of what Kanye was hitting at 2 years ago, putting people under contract so you can treat them like ish. And then
the rest of the video is about Brett. Boo.